this is Virgil with Twin Peaks Off-Road, and it's Saturday, so we had a little spare time today, and we're actually working on our own rig, and so I wanted to kind of show everybody some of the things that we do to modify some of these vehicles, particularly YJs. We can modify TJs, XJs, whatever you want to modify, but this is some of the things we do to ours. So I'm gonna have my camera sneak in here a little closer, show you what we've done. This is a 91 YJ. We've modified a Dana 60 to fit, so it has a narrow Dana 60, which brings the Jeep back to basically the specs of what the Jeep was originally, but it would have originally came out with a Dana 35 in it. You'll notice, you'll see the ARB tube. We run ARB lockers in our trail rig, both ends, and so that is, I'll show you later where that's all connected, and also the front end. We also run a Chevy Malibu style disc brake in the rear with custom rotors, and we can get those for you for if you want to switch your Jeep over to rear disc brakes. Not a super hard conversion. We did our own brake bends and brake lines and put that in. So we're going to sneak under here for a minute. I actually have it in the air. We're going to do a few things. Change the oil, change the fuel filter, and a few other things. But what I wanted to show you next thing is we use a Mountain Off-Road Enterprises custom axle wrap, or it won't let the axle wrap bar, traction bar I guess you call it. We built a cross member for it, so it has a shackle on it which lets your suspension still extend all the way down. And then on our Jeep we use a custom built leaf spring. They're 2 inches longer than stock and they're flat, so the lift, even though they're sprung over, as you can tell, they are not, the Jeep is not very tall. In fact, we can get 38s on it, but that's about it. Going from there, we run our Atlas 2 transfer case, 3.8 Atlas 2. If I get my camera to sneak over here a little bit, I'll show you the transmission. This is kind of the underneath view. I figured since we had it in the air, we'd show you. We run an NV4500 Dodge version of an NV4500 transmission, which is a diesel. It's got the I can't remember the number of splines on the input and the output, but it's a little bit stronger than the gas version of the NV4500. It actually, because it is a Chrysler product, back when we put this in, the actual bolt-in was pretty simple. Had one little adapter plate and that was about it, and then we changed the clutch to a center forced clutch. Also, it bolts up right up to the Atlas 2 transfer case, which is a twin stick Atlas 2. We run Larry East Driveline Services drivelines in this. I'll even show you the sticker. Larry builds a heck of a good driveline. I always carry spares because we run this Jeep really hard, but I've only ever had to use a spare one time. So it's a kudos to Driveline Services. We run the same thing in the front. I run CV joints in both ends. We run 1310 joints only because that's kind of where we started and we kept it. But when we build other people's vehicles now, we've been bumping them up to 1350s. Moving around to the front. We run a Dana 60 in the front. It also has an air locker. We use a solid axle housing, solid axle brand housing, and Chevy half-ton disc brakes with Dodge rotors. And it's kind of a little bit hard to tell, it's a little dark here, but this makes for a super stout combination, and it leaves it with a 5 on 5.5 lug pattern, so you still have that. We also went Heims, and we did a high steer on this, so as you can tell from the front, there's nothing hanging low. Even the drag link is high. Of course, it's clearance, plenty of room, so we just don't have any problems with drag links or steering. We run custom Alcan springs, like I said before, and we run the boomerang shackles on it. And part of what happens with the boomerang shackles is it makes the spring work, makes it actually extend when it goes up and extend when it goes out and down. So that helps a ton. We run on this, I don't know if the camera can see it, but we run a big bore PSC steering box with a cooler that's up above. And we were running the Ram on it for a while, but we don't run the Ram anymore. So that's just determined after running it in the rocks quite a bit without the Ram, it just didn't need the Ram, so we took it off. Last thing I'll show you, another thing we've been doing a lot of these lately, Raceline bead locks. This is what we sell, the brand that we sell the most of. Great wheel. We run them in the rocks a lot and they seem to survive. These are brand new, so they're not scarred yet. And Crop MT2 tires. We sell those as well. Sell tons of those. Been a great tire. So that's about it. If you'd like to see the Jeep, come by the shop sometime. If you'd like us to help you with your build, we do. That's what we do here. So let us know, and we'll be glad to either give you some advice or help you get the parts lined up or help you build it. So have a great day. Thank you.